Good evening, fam. Amid the ongoing VAT debate, the Finance Minister has weighed on portfolios he can reduce in order to work on the tight budget for this fiscal year. Let's follow up on that. As we remember, the ANC wanted to increase VAT by 2%, but that move was not welcomed by opposition parties due to the fact that cost of living is already high. And now the ANC is looking at other options. The first two options are to cut jobs in government sector, starting with KZN educators. And also to cut the 350 COVID grant that was supposed to have been a temporary COVID relief but ended up going on until now. On social media, SA citizens are saying the ANC should rather cut the cabinet, as we seem to be having bloated cabinet with too many ministers and their deputies. Cabinet and members of parliament are getting paid way too high, and members of the public are saying the ANC should rather start there, not only look into their salaries but also their benefits, including their free houses, free electricity, free travel, and their fleet of cars should be looked into. Please let us know of your take regarding this. Where must the ANC cut in order to have a workable budget for this fiscal year? Let us know of your take in the comment section. In the next slide, you may listen to more debate relating to this issue. And that's all we have for now. Please remember to leave your comments down below and let us know of your take regarding everything that we've covered. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.
Public Servants Association has expressed its outrage after Minister of Finance Enoch Godongwana stated that about 19,000 teaching posts in KwaZulu-Natal are at a risk due to significant budget cuts. Government is grappling with the challenge of funding essential services. And a recently rejected proposal for a 2% increase in VAT leaves government little room to move. PSA KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Manager Mlungisi Ndlovu joins us for more. Mlungisi, very good evening to you. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the late edition. The government faces significant challenges in funding its frontline services. Essential workers are going to be bearing the brunt. What is your reaction to this?
At PSA in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we believe this is a reckless decision because the minister, what was saying is that he's going to retrench about 19,000 of educators, taking into account that our province have over 2.6 millions of learners, over 90,000 of educators. So when you are saying you have a problem of funding, because it's a decisions of national treasury that have really failed our country with these austerity measures. If you look at the past three financial year, the Department of Education have lost about 27 billion, due to 6 billion budget cut per every year. You've got over 4,000 to 6,000 support office-based positions that cannot be filled. As we speak, in most of the schools, they cannot be able to keep up with basic operations. And we've got about 6,000 learners in the 6,000 schools in the province, and 86% of those schools are no-fee schools. If government is unable to find them, it creates a crisis. It's a national crisis that needs to be attended as quickly as possible. That's why, as PSA in the province, we have called for dialogue. We have said to the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal and MEC of Education, you must be able to engage, because most of schools are in crisis. The sad part is that most of government leaders, in particular the politicians, their kids are studying in most expensive schools. It is for this reason we are saying the minister must be able to allocate more funds, because if you look at this department, to be able to sustain even paying of salaries, they need over 2 billion, because over 50 billions goes towards salaries. Most of the essential services are not being taken care of. So whether we also need to talk about the reform, whether the issue of nutrition, whether it's placed, whether we can be able to ensure that schools are being given money to be able to operate, and ensure that the department also use the money in a responsible manner. So we have a crisis. We are sitting on the ticking bomb where over 19,000 of our educators will be retrenched. So it is for this reason, as PSA in the province, it's something that we cannot accept.
As you sit on this ticking time bomb, what kind of threat does it impose on the future of education in the province and the livelihoods of the thousands of educators?
We believe that government is not doing us favor by allocating funds. It is our hard-earned tax. So if you retrench over 19,000 educators, what's going to happen? About 2.6 learners. If you look at our province, we've got the most learners. So if there can be no educators, currently, if you look at in terms of the PPN, the ratio of per educator, it's 1 to 29. But in some of the schools, it's overcrowded. It's 1 to 50. Already we are facing that particular challenge. And the question is, government has taken a positions previous to say 86% of the schools should not be able to pay in fee. See, is it a question now to be able to say those parents that are able to pay, they must be able to pay those schools? Because some of the schools, principal, are running too much Shonisa to be able to have fund to run some of these particular schools. We are saying if you be able to retrench, obviously it affects our basic educations, because you cannot touch education. It is the constitutional right that is guaranteed, that is protected. Even the fact of the matter that the department like education and health are not exempted in terms of this budget cut. There is no alternative. They are not giving alternative. They are saying cut down 6 billion. So the impact is huge. The department has really collapsed. Things are not moving at all. Schools are unable to buy even some of the toner. It's hard for them to print some of the material. Schools are dysfunctional. That's why we're saying Human Rights Commission, why they are silenced? Public Protector, why they are silenced? Where they need to be intervened? Where are the NGO where they need to ensure that government is responding? We are sending the message to the minister that he must not play with our educators, life support staff, learners. He must be able to provide solutions. He can't just say cut. But government spend money recklessly. As PSA is something that we cannot be able to allow it.
Yeah. And very lastly, before we let you go, I mean, the consequences of being 19,000 educators down, what will it mean for the class?
Our learners will have no educators. As we speak, they are unable to fill positions when teachers retired because they've been moratorium for years and years. Our learners are struggling in township, in rural areas, even in town. That's why we are saying the schools that we have visited, they don't have educators because government said cut. If they've cut these austerity measures, it's really affecting the learning of our education. Look at our result for grade 12. It's going to impact that in a negative manner. And KZN has highest of learners. So if government is cutting a budget for Department of Education, they are saying what's going to happen to 2.6 million learners. Then government has failed. That's why we are saying as PSA in the province, we need to ensure that we hold them accountable. As PSA will use all legal means to ensure that government is able to take responsibility of prioritizing Department of Education, Health. We have unemployed doctors, they're unable to fill, to appoint them, social workers, unable to fill them, to appoint them. So we are saying we need answers. When you stop but allocating budget and there is no other means, what you saying? So that's why we are saying Human Rights Commissions must be involved. PSA will continue to be the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much for weighing in on this discussion. That